Hey there, it's Bernadette with Black Paw, and today I want to talk to you about the 10 things you should never be doing with your new puppy. These are things that we see all the time as trainers. And obviously you want to get your puppy off to a good start. So we're going to share with you the top 10 things you should never do with your puppy. Number one is bringing your puppy home and just giving it free rein of the house. That's the most common issue that we see. A lot of times someone has had an older dog who's been really good and they've been able to be loose in the house, and they kind of forget what it was like having a puppy. You have to remember your puppy's not house trained. He doesn't know what he's not supposed to chew on yet. He doesn't know the rules of the house, so he hasn't earned free rein of the house. So number one thing, no free rein in the house. Number two is leaving water available 24/7. A lot of people start having issues with accidents overnight. A puppy who's over 4 months old, waking them up in the middle of the night. It's really important, just like with potty training a child, that you limit your puppy's access to water. We typically will pick up a puppy's water bowl about 6 o'clock in the evening. If you do that, give them their last potty break before you go to bed, say 10 or so. And if you're getting up, by 6 o'clock in the morning or so, most puppies who are over 4 months of age, of course, under 4 months, they might need to go out for a potty break in the middle of the night, but over 4 months of age, most of those puppies, if you take the water away at 6 o'clock in the evening, will be able to make it through the night. Number three thing you should never be doing with your new puppy is free feeding. Free feeding is when you leave a bowl of dog food available all the time for your puppy to just eat whenever he wants to eat. The problem with this is whenever they're snacking all the time or kind of grazing, they tend to need to go potty more frequently during the day. What goes in on time comes out on time. So if you get them on a feeding schedule of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or a puppy who's over 4 months, just breakfast and dinner, typically they'll have a bowel movement within 30 minutes to an hour after eating, as opposed to a puppy who's grazing and having frequent accidents during the day. Okay, number four thing you should never do with your puppy is take them to a dog park. The dog park is not a great place for a puppy. Unfortunately, there are a lot of dogs at the dog park who shouldn't be at the dog park, and there are a lot of dogs at the dog park who don't like puppies. And so it's a place where a puppy can really start to become afraid of other dogs because he's been bullied, he's been bowled over, he's met dogs who weren't nice. Be sure if you have a puppy and you want to socialize him to other dogs that you do it in a puppy play group, a safe group that is monitored by a trainer who knows when to interrupt, and it is with other puppies that are of about the same age as your puppy. Number five most common thing you should never do with your new puppy is not crate training. Crate training is the answer to so many issues. So basically we're preventing a puppy from picking up bad habits. So crate training helps with house training. It helps with preventing them from chewing, from stealing things that they're not supposed to steal, from getting into the trash, and all kinds of mischief. Most dogs require a crate until they're about 2 years of age. And if you start it from the get-go, it'll be easy peasy. All right, number six is letting them sleep in your bed. I cannot tell you how many clients say, well, I brought him home and I had a crate, but the first night he cried so much and I felt sad and I got him out of the crate and I brought him into bed. The problem with this is, boy, are you making getting the puppy to sleep through the night way harder. They're going to do so much better if you can be strong and stick to it with keeping them in the crate at nighttime and not bringing them into the bed. Be sure that they, have a warm fuzzy in there, that they have maybe something that smells like you, that they're really comfortable, but don't get them out of the crate. It's just like a baby learning to sleep in his crib. Sometimes there's a little bit of crying, but they have to make it through that in order to be successful. Okay, number seven is getting them overly excited before you leave the house. If you have a whole routine of like, oh, baby boy, I'm leaving now, I'm going to work, I'll be back later, mommy loves you so much. If you're doing a lot of that stuff, you're creating anxiety in your puppy before you leave. And he's probably gonna cry and whine and bark and drive your neighbors crazy while you're gone. Same with when you come home if you're making a big fuss. Remember, low-key departures and arrivals in order to make your absence easier for your puppy. All right, number eight thing you should never do with your puppy is play hand games or wrestling with them. Men, I hate to tell you, men, you're the ones that are more common to do this. I don't know why men want to wrestle with the puppy, but don't wrestle with the puppy. When you wrestle with the puppy or do hand games, you're teaching them that it's okay to put their teeth on human skin, and this is never okay. He's going to grow into a big dog if he's a big dog, and we don't want him putting his mouth on grandma or kids or anybody else. So if you want to play with them, always have a toy they can direct their mouth to putting teeth on you is not okay. Okay, the number 9 thing you should never do with your puppy is being too mellow or neutral when your puppy is having a potty accident in the house. If your puppy is peeing or pooing right in front of you and you're just like, oh boy, let me go get some paper towels and clean this up. He is not getting the message that he made a mistake, and you only have a teachable moment if you can catch him in the act. If you find the potty accident later, don't bother talking to him about it. He is not going to know what you're yelling at him about, okay? But if you see him in the act, you want to kind of startle him and interrupt him outside. Clear message like, oh boy, we don't do that in the house, okay? When he potties outside, you can feel free to give a treat if you want to. We tend to just praise. Okay, and the number 10 thing you should never do with your puppy is not setting them up for success. You need to arrange things in the puppy's life so that he can be successful, he can be right, he knows what he's supposed to be doing instead of getting in trouble all the time. So follow the other rules with the crate training and the house training and the potty schedule and the feeding schedule. If you're setting all of these things up for success, you're going to have a lot fewer struggles with your puppy and a lot more success. All right, good luck with your puppy.